I don't really think Triple H likes to book the Money in the Bank. I really don't. He usually burns one really quick within 24 hours.
Drew McIntyre with the briefcase.
Drew McIntyre is cashing in his Money in the Bank contract.
So the Punk with the title to the face with a self-evident choke slam.
And then he lets the other one cook a little too long. I mean, I love Tiffany's cash-in last year, but she had two separate opportunities, count them, two separate opportunities to cash in while the champions were at her feet.
Tiffany cashes in. How does this work? Contemplating a cash-in at Survivor Series.
But she didn't due to what I believe is Triple H's long-term booking. And so today we are going to book what to do with the briefcase, or actually what not to do with the briefcase, because I am going to ruin the Money in the Bank with my booking. Now, hear me out. And there's a section of you who won't hear me out. I don't want these ideas to happen. Actually, no, wait. I want one of these ideas to happen. All the other ideas I don't want to happen because I am going to ruin the Money in the Bank. This is bad booking for said briefcase. And if you want to win this Money in the Bank, well, at the end of the month, I'm going to put a ladder in my backyard. And whoever climbs that ladder first, well, congratulations, you just climbed a ladder. How to win this Money in the Bank, though, all you gotta do is comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, ding ding ding, notification, and if you could, give a thumbs up and you can win. I'll pull a random comment from a random video at 20,000 subscribers in my quest to quit my day job. Please help me out and engage in the channel. The first really bad idea is AJ Styles wins. Now that in itself is not a bad idea, but what he does with the briefcase is, in that he cashes in on the TNA champion. Ooh, some people would actually love it, but I wouldn't. I know AJ Styles is synonymous with TNA, and there's a great working relationship right now, so it does kind of sort of make sense, but honestly, maybe I'm just selfish and don't want to share my toys, but I want the briefcase in WWE, not in TNA. Besides, I think they got their own with Feast or Fire. Do they still do Feast or Fire? I haven't really been a TNA watcher since Before Immortal. And I do apologize if my voice is a little hoarse, a pony. If my voice is pony, because I'm still a little sick here. But the next one is Cody Rhodes cashes in on John Cena's last appearance. Cody Rhodes wins the Money in the Bank, right? And let's just say John Cena's last appearance is December 14th. I don't know what it is. December 14th, and Cody Rhodes comes out, wins the briefcase, and says, I'm going to cash this in on December 14th. John Cena, I will see you on your last date here. And so, on one hand, it does force John Cena to defend his title one last time. But the problem here is that also then means that it's going to be very predictable until the 14th. I would love this scenario if they let John Cena lose the belt, but he's not going to lose the belt. But it's so cool if he did lose the belt and then he won it back. But I don't think they're going to do that. So that means until the 14th, there's no hope of John losing, thus taking something out of his title reign. An element of danger, an element of surprise. And so we're just going through the motions until Cody has that last match, when we all know Cody wins it back. I don't mind Cody being the last guy to take the title off of John, but I just wish there was someone in between. And this is a cool scenario, though, because it would allow then to explain why Cody isn't constantly going after John, because he knows he has John's last shot on the 14th with the Money in the Bank. So there are good elements to this idea, but how Triple H would book it, I think this would be more bad than good of an idea. Next idea is Sheamus wins. Sheamus wins the Money in the Bank, and he cashes in on Dominic Mysterio. He wants that Intercontinental title reign on his record. That is the only title he has not won to become the ultimate Grand Slam champion. Because unlike other Grand Slam champions who have won world titles, Intercontinental, U.S. tag team titles, he has also won King of the Ring, Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank. So it would mean so much to be the Super Grand Slam champion. But I don't know, there's just something about me that says Money in the Bank should never be cashed in on a mid-card title, no matter what. The status of Ultimate Grand Slam champion to the status of undisputed, the guy who beat John Cena, the guy who is at the top of the card, just seems more. And it feels like that Sheamus can just say, yeah, forget it. I'll just go after the Intercontinental title later. But that would be the bad idea. Sheamus wins, goes after Dominic. Another bad idea going after Dominic would be Rhea Ripley. What if Rhea Ripley won and chose Dominic as her opponent? There's still a little bit of unfinished business there, and there is a precedence of the Intercontinental title being held by women. China actually held the Intercontinental title a long time ago, and there are a lot of comparisons even between China and Rhea Ripley. So not only does Rhea Ripley win, and the internet has a meltdown, myself included, oh, she's so overbooked, she didn't need the Money in the Bank, she can instantly walk into any women's world title scene and just announce herself to be the #1 contender, and then yet she throws a curveball and goes after Dominic, and then wins. So I wouldn't like that, because that would also then bury the women's Intercontinental title, because there wasn't any mid-card women title back in the day. So it's like, why would she go after the men's? By her going after the men's, it would bury the women's Intercontinental title, which exists today. Second year in a row, Drew McIntyre wins the Money in the Bank, and second year in a row, he gets screwed as he cashes in almost immediately by Damian Priest. The feud from WrestleMania that should have ended hasn't ended. Damian Priest cost him his Money in the Bank cash in, and, well, looks like we got ourselves a SummerSlam match, which, just end that feud, please. And don't do that to Drew, please. Here's an idea that I'm not too fond of. In fact, I hate, but WWE's done something like this in the past. So we have somebody going up the top of the ladder. We'll say Carmelo Hayes. He's about to get the briefcase, and then Goldberg's music hits, and Goldberg runs down the ring with like 3 minutes to go. He spears the ladder or something, climbs up, and then he grabs the briefcase. They did this with Brock Lesnar, where all the participants had a great match just to let the dominant foe at the end just come in and take all the glory.
Ali's got the briefcase. What the hell? Brock Lesnar. This is the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Not so sure how much rhythm left.
I could totally see them, Triple H, doing this with Goldberg, protecting Goldberg because he can't wrestle, and then he just gets the Money in the Bank, and it's horrible, and then he goes on and he wins the World Championship from Gunther, because Gunther had beaten Jey Uso or something like that at SummerSlam, and my head explodes. And yes, the channel's over, this channel's done, because, you know, without a head, how am I supposed to talk? I mean, I don't even know sign language, although that would be an interesting idea for a YouTube channel, a headless person doing wrestling sign language. So there's a chance that the channel would continue. Next up, Braun Breaker, he wins the Money in the Bank, right? It's like, oh, great. This is the reason why Braun Breaker's teaming up with Seth Rollins, so he can get these big-time moments, these big-time matches, and win. And then Braun Breaker gives the briefcase to Seth Rollins. And even worse, Seth Rollins uses it to win the championship. I would hate that, because it's like, okay, I get why Braun Breaker is in this faction. It's in order for him to win championships and stuff. So for him to just give up the opportunity, it's one thing to not go after the belt, because Seth should win, but it's another thing to just give up an opportunity. So, like, keep Braun away from that ladder match if we don't want him to win. Finn Balor wins, Finn Balor cashes in, Finn Balor gets pinned. And it's like, oh God, just, you know, why do you got to do this to me, WWE? Why do you have to give me hope with Finn Balor just to take it away? It's like, yeah, and it's even worse, because we'll say, like, Finn Balor cashes in on an almost out cold Jey Uso, and somehow Jey Uso still wins. Like, Dominic Mysterio says something, Finn Balor looks that way, and then roll up. Finn Balor, book Finn Balor better. Here's one that I low-key kind of like, but I still don't want to happen. what if R-Truth wins and then R-Truth goes in to cash the Money in the Bank on like the Speed title or something? Because, you know, R-Truth is a comedic character. He gets things mixed up all the time. So it would actually make sense, unlike Sheamus cashing in on something that's not the world title, it would make sense for R-Truth to cash in on something that isn't the world title, vice versa, you know? So, like, he cashes in on the Speed title, the least important singles title on the roster. That would actually be kind of funny, and it would actually get exposure for Speed. So it's like, it wouldn't end the world, but a lot of people would hate it, myself included, but there would be a dark part of me that was laughing. For the women's ladder match, they have an open invitation on any past winner of the women's ladder match. You can enter into this said ladder match, this Money in the Bank. And then we have a really good matchup. It's great. It's awesome. We have a couple names from the past, but at the end of the match, James Ellsworth comes and he takes the briefcase down. Look it up. Technically, you can have an argument that James Ellsworth won the first Money in the Bank. And, oh boy, I think WWE wants to forget it. I know I want to forget it, but at the same time, I can't. It's embedded in my mind that they gave the first Money in the Bank women's briefcase to James Ellsworth. Now, yeah, he did throw it down to Carmelo, and she technically is the winner, but James Ellsworth took the briefcase down first. So it's like, oh, let's repeat that. The ring general Gunther, he wins. And 2 days later, he has a title match already. He has already been announced for a title match 2 days after Money in the Bank. So he wins Money in the Bank. And it's like, oh, wow, he's won Money in the Bank, and now he has a championship match with Jey Uso. Jey Uso then goes on to beat him, and it's like Gunther then crashes out, beats up Jey after the match, cashes in, and, well, he wins the title. And now in Triple H's mind, though, he's like, well, you see, I gave Jey Uso a very good victory, and then I let Gunther win to get his aura back. And nope, that's not how it works. 50-50 booking sucks. Go all in. And that's what that would be, 50-50 booking. It's like, don't let Gunther lose just to win. Don't like it. No way, no how. And yet, it's possible. And our final Money in the Bank booking idea is actually, I kind of think it's a good one. I actually like this idea. It's a lot easier, though, to come up with bad ideas than good ideas for Money in the Bank because it's very situational. You have to, like, look at what's happening in the moment and say, yes, go. This is the moment to cash in for it to really be a moment. Very unexpected. So it's hard to really do unexpected good ideas without knowing what is going to happen. However, here's a cool one. What if John Cena actually won the Money in the Bank? He wins the Money in the Bank so nobody else can have it, and then he throws it in the river. And boom, it's out of play. Now, though, we go on with John Cena's, his retirement tour, and he loses the championship. And he's like, oh my gosh. And they're like, you are never going to get another shot at this, John, because we don't want you taking it away forever. And then John Cena, one day, he just comes in, he cashes in, he opens the briefcase, it's full of like seaweed and stuff, and he's like, haha, I went and fished it out of the river, and he cashes in, and he becomes the 18th time WWE champion, undisputed champion, and I actually would kind of like that idea. Now, of course, I'll end up losing to Cody Rhodes at the end, but imagine how cool that would be, John Cena and his briefcase full of seaweed. Love it. I love that idea, for real. So, boys and girls, thank you very much for listening to my really bad Money in the Bank ideas. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.